Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Empowered Motherhood Podcast. I am so thrilled to get to have this time with you. So, oh my goodness. Hey there. First, if you follow our blog and our podcast, then you know we're a little delayed and a little behind right now. And it's because some really big things have been happening. And I cannot wait to tell you all about them. So, real quick, let me give you a super fast rundown and then introduce today's podcast because it is a little bit different than what we've been doing. So first, if you watch the podcast over on our YouTube channel, then you are not going to see live video with it this week. And it is because this week is recorded. It was a Clubhouse conversation. There is no video. All right. So there's number one. Number two, on Clubhouse this week, we have had 2 rooms already. Our third and final room of this series is tonight, December 16th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you jump over and you click the little bell to get notified when that room starts. That way you can join in on the conversation. We have been talking about intention setting with our priorities during this time period and what that looks like as we transition from this season into the next and we step into 2022, because we all know just because it is a fresh year, there's no like wiping slates clean and it's starting all over. That doesn't happen. Everything that we bring with us will come with us. So it's really important that we take some time and we reflect and we work through some of these big things. And what is so cool, and one of the biggest things that we have been working on, is setting up for you the opportunity to have a 2-night virtual conference with us with Empowered Motherhood, where you will get to discover your peace, your power, and your purpose, and you will finish out 2021 strong, stepping into 2022 with everything you've got. And I'm so thrilled for this conference. It is something that has been on my heart for a very, 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 very long time. And God just really impressed on me about a month or 2 ago, like, just do it how you can with what you've got right now. So here we are, and we're doing it virtually. You are going to get lots of goodies. You can jump to the event page and find out more information about that. And finally, this is the part I am like so thrilled for, because it has been so long coming. Just 2 minutes. The ebook launches tomorrow. I'm so excited. December 17th, the ebook launches. Make sure that you jump over to Empowered Motherhood. You get in our Facebook group. You stay connected with me on social media. And that way you know what is happening. This is so exciting. And there are more things coming and more things coming and more things coming. But I'm not wasting any more of your time. Without further ado, welcome to the Empowered Motherhood Podcast. I hope you enjoy the show. Because Jedediah turned 2 the end of October. And I'm telling you, this kid, I think, has the biggest personality, emotions, all of it, of all of my children. So, I may be like giving you just a phone call here pretty soon for some personalized help.
Yes, please do. I love the way you worded that he's got the most personality.
Yes, I've noticed a giant difference. Okay, y'all. So let me take a minute and introduce Natalie. Natalie is absolutely amazing. We met through a string of connections. I'm not even sure exactly who we met through, but it was like BFFs just to start it all off from the beginning. But she is a trained, licensed, or certified. Is certified the right word?
Yeah, certified.
Yeah. Certified gentle parenting coach. And she's absolutely amazing. She has an amazing story. So, Natalie, actually, while I'm like handling Jed, why don't you take a minute and introduce yourself, and let us know your background and how you ended up getting certified and what you're doing now in life and all of that fun stuff. And I'm going to get the two.
All right. Everyone, thanks for being here. And Brenna, thank you so much for inviting me to do this at the last minute. I'm Natalie Tellish. Like Brenna said, I'm a certified conscious parenting coach. I've been doing that for about 4 years and practicing conscious parenting in my own life for 13 years. As of this past weekend, my eldest daughter turned 13. Woohoo! Anybody else parenting teenagers out there? So yeah, I guess when I became a mom, I realized right away that like the way I intuitively wanted to parent my child, and just be really respectful of her and validating of her emotions, like those instincts that were inside of me were very like radical to the rest of the world, even my immediate family. And it was this transition phase for me of like, wow, what is this? What's going on? Why does it feel wrong to like let my baby cry it out? Why does it feel wrong to punish my child, you know? And so I just got really interested in child development and brain science. And so I've been studying that for over a decade and then decided to just make a career out of it once I um, had a bunch more kids. I've got four now total. So and right now, I'm a graduate psychology student. And yeah, just helping families learn how to parent without punishment, without just without frustration, and teaching parents how to really find their inner peace amongst the chaos that's literally never going to end because it's life.
Oh my gosh, love that. I guess I should say what we're doing here and who I am. So I am so thankful to Julie Loken and Julie Rack because those two ladies have been absolutely amazing. And I met them a few weeks ago here in Clubhouse. And the rooms that they host are just fantastic. And they were so stinking kind enough to say, yeah, girl, host these rooms in here. And I wanted to host a couple of rooms just as we get ready to enter into the next year, right? The next year. And so we generally get to this part of the year and one of two things happen. We either like, meh, forget it. And we just like trash every goal and dream and thing that we still have to achieve to finish out the end of the year. Or we're like, run hard, gotta meet all the end of the goals right now. And so y'all raise your hand if you're the one who is like, just trash it. There's too much going on. There's too much chaos, too much family, too many things to do, too many appointments. Like if you're on stage, you can like unmic or whatever, do a little fast clap or whatever. And if that one's you, okay. Or are you the one who's like, nope, we got to run for all the goals and we got to hit all the things and we've got to do those things right now? So you can raise your hand or do your little mic clapping thing. I don't even know what it's called, y'all. But what happens is in both of those are really extremes. And neither one of them are like super healthy, right? Because then it is most of the run is we end up in this place of striving, which if you have been around me at all, then you have heard me share my story about striving and how over and over and over God like says, all right, we got to stop. And the most recent one he showed me, he was like, I give you these visions, I give you these goals, I give you these dreams, and you start trying to work it all out on your own. He's like, you're putting the horse in front or the cart in front of the horse, and you can't do that. You can't go anywhere, right? When you're going with the horse in a cart, the cart has to be attached to the horse for the horse to pull it. And and so we can't get ahead of God. Like we can get ahead of ourselves all we want to, but we can't get ahead of God. And so that's not healthy either, and that's counterproductive, right? And then when we were just like, nah, we'll forget it. Or like we lose all drive, all motivation, all inspiration. Then we're just like stuck in this really mundane, blah kind of a place. And that's not empowered living either. And so if we haven't met yet, my name is Brenna Stanford, and I am a Christian empowerment coach. I'm the founder of Empowered Motherhood, Amazon #1 best-selling author of Ambitious Women Rise, and I have my very first devotion in printing right now. It is called Just 2 Minutes, and I am so super thrilled to get to finally get that out there. That has been one of those where God was like, I think you put the cart before the horse a few times on that little journey. So we're just really like thrilled to be in alignment with that and get that out into the world. So we are here tonight, tomorrow night, and Thursday night at 7 p.m. And we are going to be discussing intention setting for our priorities. And in Empowered Motherhood, we focus on 7 main priorities. That is our salvation, so our faith, our worth, which worth is not just like how I think of myself, but it is how I think of myself, but it is more than, right? It is how are we treating our body? What are we saying to ourselves? What are the things that we are doing to rest, but also to grow, right? And what I have found in conversation is that so many of us, too many of us actually, live like all in one space of self-care and personal growth, and not balanced ourselves out, right? Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man, and that's how we are to grow. So our third priority is our family, right? Our family. And this is mainly speaking of our family that is within our home, of our spouse and our children. And then, you can, depending on like your family culture, that can be even more than, but don't be afraid or ashamed if it is only, right? So my husband is one who he is like, I have enough people. We have 4 kids too, y'all. And so he's like, I've got enough people to worry about, you and our kids. Like, I can't try to worry about everybody else. And I come from a family where it's a very, I'm missing the word for it, but like a very community type of family where, we have, like, I have a cousin who he and his wife are divorced. So is his ex-wife now. And she still comes to all the family gatherings with her new husband and their children. So it's just one of those, we're very like intermingled and intertwined. That's no big deal, right? But so you get to make that choice. This is your life that you are focusing on, setting intentions for, and goals. And then moving on, our other priorities are our finances, so our money, our job, our business, our work, whatever that looks like. What is your thing that you spend your days doing? And then our home and our social. And so home tasks are how we take care of our home. And at first I didn't have this one in there. And then God really convicted me. He's like, listen, we need to add that because how many of y'all cannot function when your home is like a total wreck? Yeah, I am too. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I've got to mop. I hate mopping. There's 3 loads of laundry to fold, and so this is a priority, and it has a place on its own. So we don't have to try to shove that into some of our other areas that we want to focus on. And so we'll get into a little more of that as we go. And then social is like our friends and just people that we socialize with at church, at work, outside of those places, just wherever, whoever, that social life that is something apart from our family. I would love to hear from you of what you see the differences between intentions and goals.
Good question. Really good question. I guess I see goals as like having a deadline, like a destination, and then like the measurable, attainable, SMART goal. And then with intention, I feel like that's kind of more of an abstract, like fluid term where My intention might need to be different today than it will be tomorrow, but towards the same goal. Like maybe today my intention just needed to be like to rest my throat and not worry about mopping, but maybe tomorrow when I'm feeling better, my intention towards whatever the same goal is will be like, okay, I'm going to step it up a little bit today. I don't know. That's just kind of what came.
Natalie, you guys can hear my kids in the background, so I would love to just have you share with us some things on intention setting with your family.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess it kind of changes, it evolves over time. When you're really in tune with every family member's needs and their own individual goals, it's like when you are the person that's kind of in charge or setting the tone for the atmosphere in the household. Um, it's really, it's not just about us and like what we want, because it would be easy for me to be like, okay, so for my family, I really just want peace and quiet all the time. Like that would be a great goal, right? It sounds so desirable, but it's not realistic and it's not taking into account like that in a family, we are all parts to one whole. And so everyone's individual needs and desires and strengths and weaknesses need to be kind of put into play and factored in. So, setting intentions within the family is kind of just like reflecting, like, okay, so especially this time of year, like looking back on the past year, okay, what's been a pattern of behavior I've seen in my children or within my marriage between myself and my husband, and um, what might be underlying that pattern of behavior, and if what am I wanting to change it to? So we look at, here's A, which is where we're at, and it's something that's not completely desirable. And then, so what's B? What is the ideal? And then, what would the steps need to be to get there? Or what resources do we need to find or learn about? Or um, different things to kind of put into the schedule to work on different dynamics in the home. So I really think that the main thing is just getting everyone's input and valuing everyone's input equally. It's easy as parents to feel like, oh yeah, we're smarter, we're bigger, we are the ones that earn money, we take care of the house, so the kids' opinions don't matter. And like, I mean, that is true to an extent. Like, we're not gonna get their opinion on which mortgage plan we should pick when we're buying our house, but we can consider their emotions and how they feel as a whole and generally within the home and within the family. So just taking their thoughts and feelings into consideration.
I love that. Okay, so while you were sharing all of that, I thought of how um we will, and I say we, my husband tends to ask for the children's input a lot more than I do. That's a part of just his servant personality. Like he is such a like acts of service type of person. Like that's his love language. And he'll ask for their input on almost everything. And there are a lot of times that I like go ahead and say, we're asking for your opinion and what you would like. That doesn't mean that that's what you're going to get. And so just kind of like helping the kids know, because when you ask a 7-year-old like, hey, what do you want, like they're like, oh, they're asking me what I want, this is, I get it and everything. But I love that you said that, like you would love to have peace and quiet in our family all the time, but that's not always the thing. And so here is something else that I love about intention setting and why this is really an important first step before we start with goals. So intention setting is that it's that driving, right? It's that part of our being, right? We're human beings. And so intention setting helps to motivate us. It helps to give us that like, hey, this is our ideal. And you had taught, use that example of like quiet and stuff in our house, but we know what's reality. And with Empowered Motherhood, you know, we use our Moments Matter guidebook. And oh, baby, that doesn't go in there. Ooh, good job, though. Try that one. And so in our guidebook, like the first step is to get that perfectionist ideal out of our head of like, what do we want? What is this like perfect picture that we have in our brain for our life in these 7 areas and just overall? Yeah, buddy, good job. And then like trash it. Like just go ahead and trash that, because we're not striving for perfect, we're striving for purposed. And there's a difference. And there may be some traits of your perfect image that you can pull from and that can help to influence and can be a part of your purposed intention for your overall life, for, you know, even the different areas of your life, the different priorities. But it's really important to be able to know that it's not about perfect, it's about purpose.
I love listening to Rob Dial. I don't know if you know who that is, but I was listening to one of his podcasts the other day, and something that he shared was like, your goal, yeah, that's the destination and that's the thing that you want to get to, but the growth that happens to you as a human is really the part that no one can take away from you. Because if I set a goal to make $1 million and I do, great. I mean, that could all be gone, you know, in an instant. But the growth that happens to you along that journey, like nothing can take that away from you.
I love it because it's like this helps with systems, right? So this isn't the end all be all to like you setting up your, you know, new year with to be like the exact way that you want it or anything like that. But it is an accumulation, right? So in our coaching, we use Moments Matter. We use that guidebook. That's a mindset tool. Then we use our rhythm refinement, which is a super great happy mom hack that God totally helped me with, because let's be real, when we start like thinking on this level as moms, right, with all of these people that we live with, it's really easy to get into this like, my family is nothing like that, so I need to like just scrap and trash everything that we're doing right now and toss it out the window and start all over. But the reality is there are so many things that you are doing great. Like you're doing fabulously with them. And then of course, like where we get really applicable with it all is we put it all into our PAM, which is our signature system. It stands for Personal Aromatherapy Method. And it's where we get to like put the action steps behind this. We get to implement our intentions, and we make space through our rhythm refinements to set up like taking a moment and setting up an intention and getting ready to step into the next moment. Like I had one client who um, she she was just finding herself like really fussy with her family at the end of the day. She didn't want anything to do with them. She just kind of go hide in her room and like raise your hands if you've been there. I totally have. And her kids are like young teenagers, right? And so these are really pivotal years. And she was like, oh, I just can't do this. And then through conversation, we realized that it was the rushed schedule that had kind of started like bringing this on and bringing on the overwhelm. And she just was like, I'm just shutting down. Right. And so what we did is we had her set up like a little alarm on her watch or her phone for when she's getting ready to shut down from work. And she's going to start entering that brain space. Okay, I'm finishing this task and I know what's coming. So I'm going to be getting my mind ready to enter that. And it may sound really crazy to some people to think like you have to psych yourself up to be a good parent. The answer for many of us is yes. Like there are some really amazing parents who it is naturally in them and it's like their heartbeat, right? But for my life and many people I've talked to, like we have to be really intentional about the way that we think and feel in these moments. And so with her we started, a few minutes before she was closing down for work. And then she took like 2 minutes, right? So 120 seconds, that's all, in her car before she left her parking lot from her job and went to pick up her child. And what that did is that allowed her to make space for herself. And when she did that, that was her saying to herself, like, I know that I'm worth this. I know if I take care of myself, then I'll be able to take better care of my children, have better relationship with my husband, and and show up better and steward better. And so that's really what this is all about, is stewardship, of like, how are we going to steward all of the gifts that God has given us? Thank you so much for listening along. I am more than thrilled. I'm so excited and so just inspired and believing and expecting for amazing things to happen and to take place as you learn how to set an intention that is aligned with the purpose that God has for you and the goodness that He has for you in all things. And then you allow Him to teach you and to show you how to do that in each of these areas of your life. And let Him equip you with the tools. So many times we're asking God, how? God, why? What can I do? And we have closed fists and we can't receive or give when our fists are closed. So I just want to encourage you now, take a moment, open up those hands and say, God, thank you that I'm receiving from you. And thank you that I'm giving out and letting go of whatever you're needing me to release. I am releasing it. And I hope to see you at our 2-night virtual conference. So jump over to brennastanford.us/events and get signed up. You do not want to miss this.